My name is Dr. Mel Gill. I am the producer, the writer, and the director of The Meta Secret. 3 years ago, I embarked on a mission to tell people that there was more to the law of attraction than simply making a wish and wanting something to happen, or to put a picture or a poster of something you need and expect it to happen. I knew that there were a series of steps you had to take. It's not as simple as asking the universe and receiving and being open to receive. Sometimes without clarity, you won't know what it is you want. So I needed to talk about clarity and how to achieve clarity. It's easy to say to someone who is poor, think wealthy. But how do they do that when bills are piling up all the time? It's easy to say to someone, think about love in your life when they've been rejected all of their life. How do they do that? There's so many things they have to pay attention to. And then, of course, you ask somebody to be healthy when their body is falling apart. How do they do that? There must be methodologies. There must be ways. There must be tools people can use. So I decided to go beyond the simplistic concept of the law of attraction and study it a little bit more. Actually, I've been studying it all my life. It's called the Hermetic laws. I realized, without really being conscious of it, that the law of attraction was one of 7 ancient principles, that there were other laws at play: the law of rhythm, the law of correspondence, the law of gender, the law of polarity, the law of cause and effect. And then I found that there were sub-laws beyond all of these. So I wanted to put them together, and I talked to my friends, Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, and Joe Vitale. I said, hey guys, would you like to be able to take this to the nth level? Would you like to take this to a meta level? Would you like to work with me on the Meta Secret? And they said, sure, Mel, anytime. 3 years ago, we began this project. I started with just a dream, nothing else. And I knew that this would find its completion. If my energies were right, if my intention was right, then the universe will make something happen. Goethe said, great resources come to those with great ideas and who put them into action. And that's what we did. We started. We didn't know where it was going to go. We didn't know how it was going to end. We didn't expect the kind of success that we had accumulated thus far. But I knew something. I knew the message had to get out. So we sat down and we gave you and put together all of this in this movie called The Meta Secret. The book is different from the movie. The book has all of the extrapolations of what you need to do and the methodologies and the tools that you need and the psychological tools that you need. And I also give you, in clear perspective, the kind of thinking you need to be able to develop yourself into the kind of person you want to be. And at the end of the day, isn't that important? Isn't that the most important thing? You. Meta means beyond the physical. When someone talks about metaphysical, they're not talking about magic, they're not talking about things that have to do with spells and voodoo or anything of that. It means beyond the physical. When you say metachemical, it's beyond the chemical. When you say metabiology, it's beyond the biology that you have. And when you say meta-language, it's beyond language, or more specifically, the origin of all language. So when I say the meta secret, it's the origin of all secrets. At the root of it all, there isn't really a secret. You already have this. You already have all the tools, all the knowledge, all the resources you need to achieve the goals you want to have and accumulate and experience in your life. You already have this. But there is a lack of awareness. And that's what the Meta Secret does. And that's what this whole book that I created is all about. An ability for you to become more aware, not only of your circumstances, but of the possible futures that are there waiting for you. The whole idea is this: if you pay attention to things you never paid attention to before, like your circumstances, when you wake up every morning and you greet the world instead of automatically brushing your teeth and then having breakfast and coffee and then going to work and repeating the whole cycle all over again the next day, pay attention to every little nuance of activity. Pay attention to the fact that you've got teeth to begin with and most of it is yours. Pay attention to the fact that when you look at your face, my gosh, sometimes you don't even recognize. You feel like a young person, but the image in the mirror is, my God, how did that person get to be so old? And you notice that you are aging in a process or growing old in a world where youth is the order of the day, where everybody's trying to look young. But let me tell you something. When you become more aware of the passage of time in your life and of your biology, you start to pay more attention. When you become more aware of the passage of time in your life, you start to pay attention to the fact that every day is precious, and you start to live fully every day. You start to love fully every day, and you start to laugh completely from your belly. You start to realize that there's no better moment than right now to be happy. There's no better moment than right now to be satisfied with everything and everyone that you have, and everything extra that you get is just icing on the cake. And that's what metta means, to go beyond your awareness and pay attention to the things we're not always aware of. If I can give you an analogy, if you imagine your conscious mind about the size of a 50-cent coin or a €1 coin, then your subconscious mind, I don't know why it's called subconscious mind, because it's really a superconscious mind, is probably larger than your entire house that you're sitting in. Now, that comparison should open up some awareness doors or consciousness doors within you. We don't pay attention to a lot of things that happen around us. You are a visual human being. You use your eyes to see things. You use your ears to hear things. You use your hands and your body to feel things. And you smell and you taste everything around you. But do you really? Do you remember what you had for breakfast? Do you remember every visual sight, every little granule of coffee that went into your mouth? Do you remember everything that you taste and smell? You don't, because we do it automatically. Pay more attention, and you'll be surprised. A simple thing like drinking a cup of coffee will suddenly wake you up to the fact that maybe the whole universe is found in a single cup. Everything you need is there. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory, 5 senses coming alive. And when you are, all of a sudden you become a metta person, beyond the ordinary person.